If you join us live via Zoom, you're offered a message. And as we set up this messages service, please know that there are several things to keep in mind. One, that these messages are presented for your highest and best good. And what that means is what our spirit guides and teachers want us to know, what they think we should know. The second thing is that as we give you the messages, my spirit guides connect with your spirit guides and then share with me what I should tell you. This is a public service, meaning that more than one person can hear your message. So the messages are often presented in ways that will benefit more than one person. So if I'm giving a message to someone else, if it rings true to you, if it feels right, take it. They're not copyrighted. They're out here for the highest and best good of us and those these messages connect with. A couple of things about the future. Many times Spirit will share with us something about the future. And the future does cast a shadow before it. So if you receive something about the future, it's not cast in stone. It's not for certain. It's not your destiny. You're given that so you can either take actions to avoid it or take actions to bring it about. Free will is, after all, your choice. And after I give you your message, if you'd like to go about your day, please do so. Otherwise, you can stay around to see if you recognize in other messages something beneficial for yourself. So with all that, Hazel, would you like a message? So this message is from my joy guide, Christopher. And Christopher shows a stocking being hung on a wall. And this is a Christmas holiday stocking. And what he's wanting you to do is over the next few weeks, every time you see something that's interesting, he wants you to take it and put it in the stocking. And the stocking can either be literal or it can be figurative or symbolic. And every time you see something that's interesting, you either write it on a little piece of paper, fold it up and put it in the stocking, or write it in your journal. And on Christmas morning, or whatever part of the holidays you celebrate, allow yourself to go through and unveil all of the interesting things you observed during this next few weeks. And there is a pattern he's wanting you to see. And you're very close to seeing it. However, you're a little bit too close to it. And if you really take on this practice of getting just a little notebook, and every time you observe something that's interesting, fascinating, kind of feels different, you don't have to write a novel, but just write a few words about it. And then you have a little celebration about however you celebrate your winter solstice. Allow yourself to experience all those things. That'll help you see this pattern. And that pattern, once observed, will allow you to take a couple of additional steps you've been wanting to bring about, but haven't quite seen the path to get started. And I will bless you and leave you that, and then allow you, if you have any questions or comments about that message.
Very much.
You're welcome. I bless you and leave you with that. And Sylvia, would you like a message? All right, so Nathan steps in next to me, and Nathan, again, is my companion guide / healing teacher. And he is showing me an image of that movie, The Christmas Carol, the old one. And Ebenezer Scrooge's original partner comes in with all of these chains on. And there is one area in the realm or the domain of your health and well-being where you are allowing some chains to weigh you down. And Nathan wants you to really dig deep in some journaling and dig back into our number 2 of our empath protection guide thing about really looking at the thought that lies beneath your beliefs and your thinking around healing, allowing yourself to be well and healthy, and see if you can find that thought which is creating this barrier to you experiencing the health and well-being you want. And he is sharing with me that the moment you see how your mind created this thought, and then all the emotions and thinking on top of this thought that kind of block it from your awareness, it's like you receive this combination, and that burden is dropped. The thing he wants you to understand, though, is once you release the burden, then you've got to do the healing work. So even though there's a sense of freedom once you see the thought, then you got to do the work to recreate the thought in more of an empowering context. Because one of the things that's interesting about especially health and well-being is we grow so accustomed to having things a certain way that we allow ourselves to not permanently shift the mindset that led to the health and well-being concern. I will bless you and leave you with that and open the floor if you have any questions or comments.
Lots of things pass through my head. And my doctor, my PCP, will be happy to hear what I'm doing, perhaps. But I will be happy to release my sugar addiction. So my blood work will be good next month.
So if I may, catch yourself the moment before you start to crave the sugar. That's the red flag you're looking for. And I'm an overeater. I love sugar. I love all food. I like seafood. I like it. But when there's a process that you go through that it's almost, did you ever smoke?
No.
Okay. So when your body goes through a certain substance release, there's a trigger that wants you to have whatever it's craving. So if you allow yourself to look at the sugar and say, right now I can have this if I want it, but right now I don't want it. And you train yourself over time to not give in to the craving in that moment, then that'll help reveal the thought beneath the craving. And so when I smoked, and when I gave up smoking, I kept the cigarettes in my pocket. And I said, I can smoke all the cigarettes I want. No one can stop me. I'm an adult. I have the money. I got the cigarettes, so you can't stop me. So having to stop smoking was a lie. You can have all the sugar you want. It's everywhere. It's even in places we don't even know that it is. So when I quit telling myself I have to stop smoking, and I said, I don't have to stop smoking, but right now I choose not to have a cigarette. Over the next 3 or 4 weeks, the cigarettes went from my pocket to the center console in my car. I was doing a lot of driving, and when I was driving, I would mindlessly smoke. And then about a month later, I found them in my glove box. And every time I wanted one, I said, yes, I can have this cigarette right now, but right now I choose not to. And I got to the source of the thought below the thinking that caused the stress, which allowed me to, which drove the behavior of wanting to smoke. So ponder that and really look at seeing that thought below the thinking. And the thinking is what, and the emotional, the tempest of your mind is what I'm calling it now, is what drives that behavior. So let me know how it goes.
All right. Thank you.
And did you ever watch that movie Airport?
With Tom Hanks living in the airport?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's Airplane. The silly one from the 70s or 80s. It was just totally ridiculous.
No.
So Lloyd Bridges, if you Google Airplane Lloyd Bridges, he was in the air traffic control tower, and he kept on saying, I picked the wrong day to give up coffee. I picked the wrong day to give up cigarettes. I picked the wrong day to give up heroin. So this is a hell of a week to give up sugar on Thanksgiving, my dear. Yeah. The next 5 weeks is hot and cold running sugar. But yeah, try that and let me know how it goes. I bless you and leave you that. And Robin, would you like a message? Excellent. All right, so this message is from Tao Chuan Ling, and he stands on my right, and he is sharing with me an image of a snowflake, and it is in exquisite detail. And this snowflake is being shared with you as an acknowledgement of the work you've done at being able to see and identify some of the things that upset you before they upset you. So it's like you've opened the door, you're allowing the authentic, unique you to start to come out without hiding that part of yourself. And so it's an acknowledgement of keep up the good work, you're making progress. And even though sometimes the progress you're making doesn't really seem like progress, if you really look back at this time last year, you're making significant progress. And that sense of well-being and congruence is growing. And that's represented by the uniqueness of this snowflake. So keep up, whatever you're doing is working, keep it up, and allow yourself to acknowledge this shift in your experience of being alive, because it is, the way he's saying it is, it's one of those domino things where you're setting up this path. And this is one of the dominoes in the chain that will help you get where you want to go. And I'll bless you and leave you with that. And then invite you if you have anything, any question or comment. No? All right. I'll bless you and leave you with that. And Larry, would you like a message, sir? I don't know if you're the person in your community that does the carving of the turkey, but I've got you with a machete, a fillet knife, a paring knife, and an axe. And your job is to do some prep work for a big meal. I would imagine it has to do with Thanksgiving. And you go through a process of which tool will be best for the job. And part of you is in a hurry, so the axe would certainly get the job done quickly. And then part of you is also wants this exquisite attention to detail, so the paring knife would be perfect. And so you go through this mental process of what's the best tool for the job, trying to balance out, pardon me, trying to balance out multiple different concerns. One is speed, one is accuracy, one is the way it should be done, and then there's Larry's way. And what Tao Chuan Ling is sharing is that if you allow yourself to trust Larry's way with no regard to what any other people may chime in on, you'll find that they're totally happy with the end result, even though they may disagree with the road to get there. He's saying, in this case, my friend, asking forgiveness rather than permission may well be the best idea. And I will bless you and leave you with that and see if you have any questions or comments.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's kind of almost leading in from last week's message as well. We talked about.
Yeah, I don't remember last week's, so.
And I'm wondering, is there any indication as to which area of my life this is referring to? Because, and I'll tell you why. It linked into last week's message as well. It was all about the tools for the job. And it was also about carving, but it was carving in wood, which also it's also another thing I've been wanting to resurrect in my life and have new tools and haven't used them yet. But I'm wondering, is there any indication as to what area of my life this is? Because it could apply in so many different ways.
So Tao Chuan Ling is showing me this is more of a general state of mind that underlies a lot of the disharmony you experience in each of your areas of life. You know, there's a country song that says, no matter where you go, there you are.
Right.
And this is one of those, that Larry is Larry. And each area of your life has different people or vibrations that count on Larry being Larry. The problem is Larry hasn't allowed himself to be truly himself because he's too much of a damn chameleon. And he adapts who he is to the circumstance. And the overall message or the overall sense of the message, this is coming from my intuition, not from Tao Chuan Ling, is that as soon as you let your true color come through and you really allow yourself to do it Larry's way, forgiveness, not permission, then you open a lot of doors for yourself to become self-referential rather than environmentally referenced.
Understood. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I will bless you and leave that, and thanks for the clarification. So Lisa, would you like a message?
Yes, Terry.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so my protector guide, Red Hog, almost takes me over And he is strongly recommending that you get out into nature and just be in nature sometime in the very, very near future. You've got a couple of things that you've gotten very close to. And getting out into nature, maybe seeing some critters or some birds or something like that, will help you shift your perspective just a little bit. And especially going into the time right after the Thanksgiving holiday, this will help you, and this is my word, this is my term, help you get a little bit more grounded and not feel so trapped. And I will bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Beverly, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
Awesome. I've got you, you're reading a recipe, and it's a very, very simple recipe. And I don't know if you don't know what simple syrup is, but simple syrup is basically water and sugar mixed together, and you boil it until the sugar dissolves. It's 1 part sugar, 1 part water by weight. And you're going 1 part water, 1 part sugar. You're trying not to forget 1 part water, 1 part sugar, 1 part water, 1. So you got these things you're trying to remember and keep in your head so you don't forget. But the whole time you're making yourself more anxious that you're going to forget. So you're making it where you're less likely to remember. And this message is coming from Nathan. And Nathan is reminding you, just write the damn thing down. 1 part water, 1 part sugar. And then go about remembering why you wanted the simple syrup in the first place. And so write down the stuff that is write downable, and then you can be more present and engaged in what you're doing. And this is 100% directed towards your interactions with other people, specifically at your work. And I will bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome. 1 part water, 1 part sugar. Write the damn thing down. All right, Laverne, would you like a message, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know where I saw this, but so Tao Chuan Ling is my high teacher. He's a Chinese priest, stands on my right. And he's showing me a scene from a movie. And the scene from the movie is a person who's standing outside, and as they're looking at the vista around them, there's like 6 tornadoes coming towards them. And it's interesting. It's a very, very scary image. But as you're standing there looking at these tornadoes coming in your general direction, you absolutely know that you're safe, and you absolutely know that they're not going to affect you or bother you. And so allow yourself to trust that, even though pardon me, your physical senses seem to indicate that you may be in jeopardy. And of course, these tornadoes are more people and opinions and other vibrations that are around you, not necessarily tornadoes. So trust and know that you're grounded, you're safe, they're not going to come they're not going to cross paths with you in a negative way. unless you allow them to. So trust that that they cannot and will not bother you unless you allow yourself to be bothered. And with all that, I will bless you and leave you.
Thank you, Terry.
You are welcome. And Claudia, pardon me?
I said I knew it. I'm very pleased with myself.
Yeah, you're becoming a master. And this is indeed a case where practice makes perfect. So I'm going to unmute you so I can move on down the line. So thanks for joining us. I hope to see you next week. Claudia, you're next. Would you like a message? So I've got a message. And it's quite interesting. I've got one of those balsa wood airplanes that has a propeller on the front. It's got the wings, and it's got a little hook in the back, and then you wind the propeller up, and as you wind the propeller up, it tightens the rubber band. Then when you let go of the propeller, the rubber band makes the airplane fly. And it goes across the room, and it's, hopefully it doesn't land in the wrong place and breaks the propeller. And you've been using this perfectly working, enjoyable balsa wood, rubber band driven plane for a long time. But then you start to look and you see all of these remote control, radio operated, battery operated drones and planes and stuff like that. And you start to want one of those. And as you're sitting there looking at it, you start to lose favor, or the little balsam wood plane starts to lose your favor. And this is coming from Nathan, and Nathan is reminding you that even if you had the very best remote control plane in the world, it would not give you any more joy or satisfaction than the simple thrill of winding up the balsam wood rubber band powered plane and watching it go across the room. So really look, as we go into this Thanksgiving season, at something some shiny new object, something shiny and new that's seeming like a really good idea that may not and probably will not give you any more joy or satisfaction or function than what you're already doing. And remember the intention behind what you're doing in the first place, and become aware of that. Now, he also reminds me that it's okay to buy the new one, but just do so based on knowing that it's probably not going to give you any more satisfaction or value or fulfillment than its original, what you would be replacing. And I will bless you and leave you with that. And Coco, I've got you next. Would you like a message? And where are you from, ma'am?
I'm in Seattle, Washington.
Excellent. Well, welcome. Now, are you in?
San Diego.
I'm sorry?
Formerly from San Diego.
Oh, excellent. Where in San Diego?
Hillcrest.
Oh, okay. Excellent. There's First Spiritualist Church is down close to there, not too far from there. So, now are you in a group? Is that why you're wearing your mask, or what's going on?
I have a friend visiting, so we're kind of keeping a distance, but I'm doing this right now.
Okay, got it. Well, I just so I'm just going to do a reading for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, awesome. So Tao Chuan Ling is my high spiritual teacher. He stands on my right. And, pardon me, he has you looking at, it looks like probably 6 or 7 pages of paper. And on each page of paper are 3 or 4 columns of numbers. And your job is to do several basic mathematical computations on the numbers. And you're thinking about putting them in a spreadsheet. You're thinking about seeing who else you can get them to do them. You're just resisting the heck out of of starting. And you're looking for some quicker, more elegant, sexier way to do this work. And he reminds you that if you had just done the work, it would be over and behind you now. And for many of us who are more highly sensitive and more empathic in nature, many times we get so wrapped up in making something less painful, we forget that many times the pain that we are experiencing is self-induced because we just don't do the work quickly. So it's kind of like, when you have a Band-Aid on and you know it's going to hurt coming off, if you take it off really slow, it hurts for a long time. If you just yank it off, the pain is start to recover. So look around your life and see if there's something you're avoiding, looking for a more sexy, elegant way to do it that you're kind of procrastinating on, and really see whether or not you can just start doing it. And when you're done with it, it'll be over. Now, this is interesting because it's applying to 2 different areas of your life. One is what I would call work or vocational, but it also seems to have to do with something you're trying to bring about in your own personal spiritual growth and development. And I will bless you and leave you with that. And Oscar, would you like a message, sir?
Yes, please.
Excellent. Okay. I've got you in front of 2 glasses, like drinking glasses. And each one of the glasses is filled with, I don't smell anything different, so I'm going to say it's water. However, it could be like vodka. But you got 2 glasses. They're both about half full, but one is a little bit fuller than the other one. And you're got an eyedropper trying to make sure that each glass is equally half full, so that the liquid is equally divided. And you're trying to really get this to, within 1 drop either way. And so Tao Chuan Ling is reminding you that you're the owner of both glasses. You're setting this up for yourself. So if you were to just take both glasses and pour them into 1 glass, you'd have 1 full glass instead of 2 half full glasses or 2 half empty glasses. So allow yourself to look at some place where you're trying to find an answer. You're trying to balance things out. You're trying to walk that middle path, but you're doing this more as a way to find an answer to a question you don't really need answered. So you're trying to figure out within yourself what this balance or what this equilibrium or what this equality should be. But it doesn't really matter in the end because you're just going to drink what's in the glass and move on. So notice where that shows up and starts to distract you from your original intent, which is to have the glass of whatever's in these 2 glasses. And I will bless you and leave you with that. You're welcome. And we have Albert and Hanya, and I think I will go with Albert first today. Would you like a message?
Yes, sir.
So this is coming from Nathan, and Nathan is giving me 2 words. And I don't think he's ever given me these 2 words in a message before. But the 2 words are divine guidance. Divine guidance. And he's sharing these words with you today because there is a definite sense of divine guidance at play in a set of circumstances that you either just stepped into or will be stepping into very, very soon. So if you have not stepped into them already, you're kind of aware of them. It's just they haven't started yet. And the reason he's sharing these words with you today is that he wants you to demystify the divine guidance and accept things as they are without worrying about assigning credit. And what this is an overall feeling of is, you know, how some people just say they're lucky and they always win. And some people say, I'm not lucky and I always lose. Well, the people who always win just don't remember the times they lost, and the people who never lose or who always lose never remember the times they won. So in this case, he wants you just to step into the circumstance without any regard to how you got into the circumstance, and knowing that this is just the next step along your path to what you want to bring about between now going into the new year. And I will bless you and leave you with that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And Hanya, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
Okay. I've got you at Costco. And you've got a regular shopping basket at Costco, and you're on that aisle where you buy sugar. And the first thing you do is you reach over and you start to buy one of those, just a normal 5-pound bags of sugar. But out of the corner of your eye, you see that big 25-pound bag of sugar with a handle on top. And you're thinking to yourself, well, if I buy the big one, then I don't have to buy it for a long time, but I really don't need the big one. And you start to go through this mental gymnastics and mental calculus about whether or not you should buy the 25-pound bag of sugar or the 5-pound bag of sugar. And what Nathan wants you to really understand is that what you're going through has nothing to do with how much sugar you should buy, and everything to do with a sense of scarcity that has you do things that you don't really necessarily need to do right now. So it's like you've got the money in your purse and you can afford the 25 pounds, so why not buy the 25 pounds? But that's coming from scarcity. That's not coming from need and want and desire. So really allow yourself, especially going through the holidays, to look at where scarcity starts to have you do things that you would not normally do. And then buy your sugar. Because you're going to buy the sugar. But what do you really need right now in this moment to take care of what you've got on your plate versus something else about some subconscious or unconscious thought running the show. And I will bless you and leave you with that.
Is it something about my daughters?
No.
Both of them?
No,
No.
this is around you and around money and around how you're looking at things as far as resources in your life.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And Wanda, you're the next person. So I think *6 is how you unmute.
Can you hear me?
I can. Would you like a message?
Yeah.
Excellent. So all right, so Tao Chuan Ling steps very close to me. And he's showing me an image of 2 plates in front of you. And one plate has this gorgeous piece of roast salmon. And the plate next to it has a big salad. And in your mind, you're thinking either the salmon or the salad. And he shows you taking the salmon and putting it on the salad and having this feast. So there's something you're looking at as an either or. Either I can have salmon or either I can have salad. Either I can meditate or I can heal. And he really wants you to have a both and conversation. Have both salmon and salad or meditation and healing. That you're at a position right now where you're no longer constrained or restricted about how you can or will do things. So allow yourself to start to expand your options to having and bringing about exactly what it is you want, more than a choice about either or. And I bless you and leave you with that. It's really a wonderful way to look at things. So that's the end of... You are welcome. You are welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Spirit 360 Fellowship is an online community of like minds and kindred spirits. To join us live via Zoom, get your invite at spirit360.org. And until next we meet, I remind you of this fascinating koan. Spiritual is as spiritual does. Go forth and do spiritual things, especially this week of giving thanks.